And he's shielded up, so knocking him down probably won't be something we can do anymore. At least for a while. She's dead. Yep. Salaman is back. Yeah, it's not looking good now. As soon as we lost, I don't know why. 2 times I clicked on knockdown arrow, and 2 times I didn't shoot knockdown arrow. Right. We can't chicken him because we're silenced. Yeah? Yeah. So we have to waste one of our knockdown arrows on you. Okay, got you knocked down. And just a regular. Wait, he's dead now. That was a wasteful knockdown arrow then if he's. No, he's not dead. Ah, there we go. Okay. Kraken, what are you gonna do? Going after those guys again. They're pretty beefy, those 2 magisters. Okay, he's gone back over there. And now I think he's gonna end those 2 white magisters, which is not gonna be good for us. Now, Steel. You need to, first of all, resurrect her. Where she can see the red prints, so there. Yeah, it's just your inner demon actually watches over. Okay, that could be good. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay, please don't have another attack. Ooh. Okay, didn't kill her. Good. Now. Get the red prints back up, please. Then put them over here so we can get rid of the Salaman. Now, restoration for yourself. Okay, red prints, buddy. Oh, come on, targeting system. One little bit, yeah, there. Hit you. Okay, good. Then I think demonic stare on him. Actually, he's oh shit. He's all out, so we could have actually made it rain and stunned him. Okay, so let's just focus on killing this guy. So he's just going to stand up next turn. Now, this should be a kill, 2 hits. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. Do that. Okay, 2 extra AP. That's easy. Yeah. Phoenix dive. She's all the way here. Phoenix dive up here. Just to give yourself either time to recover or for you to get killed by him. And then so we don't need any planets. Let's get a firestorm. I thought it would get up to her. Of course it doesn't. But can we put it over by practice? Yes. Or kind of close to practice. But it can't go there. And I can't do that with mage. Is that practice there? Yes. Wait, let's examine him before we do this. I do not want to cure him. No, 40% fire, so poison heals. Okay. Then end the turn. His build's going to be more trouble for us. Yeah, cursing the ground. Curse you, his build. Now, let's see. This practice Rex. He gets to go after her, so we can maybe do something. How much? Okay, cool. Attack retreat. So, I hope we can see. Please let me see it here. If it was him, he'd definitely be able to see us. But the other way around, we probably won't see. Let's see. Knock down now. Yes, we can. Knock you down for another round. Okay, and then we just want to use what we have available. What do we do then? Maybe just first aid for ourselves.
Prepare yourself.
Okay. Kraken Buddy is going to do some weird shit. Maybe kill some people. Okay, it's moved over here. Which might mean Red Prince is in trouble. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, new guy. Yeah, that's not fair. It gets to summon a new enemy and do an attack. That's just crazy. And then the new enemy gets to kill him. Yeah, bye bye reference. Okay, so Bill. Yeah, do you have Wayne? I know you have. No, I don't think she has one. And he can't be frozen. So basically all of her freezing spells are useless in this one. Can't teleport him away. Shouldn't really have any kind of control spell available to her. Oh. Stop telling me people are playing Monster Hunter. Please. This is some work. Creature blood surface that's bleeding enemies, less is fire surface, but it doesn't turn shock into stone. Chance of resurrection score. So this have fortify score. Blood separate. Okay, so now we'd end up diseasing their own people. Living on the edge. We could do that, so that would be 2 points. Then we have to do something to do it 2. So where is the bone? That's the bone. I'll probably use the bone actually. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we've used that. So let's use this on her.
I'm ready.
So she's alive for 2 turns. Then get a blood incarnate that can bash him. I think it's blood at least. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just physical. Okay, and just to hope that we survive. Since she's knocked down. Israel is coming over here. Come on, White Mage, use something. 2 bracket effects, actually, not to us. Incarnate. Good action. And again. Kraken there is going to kill some people again. Oh, that's not good. It's over where Ifan is. Yeah, hitting for Ifan. Practice only has 3,000 life. But still, it's a lot when you're, you know, you can only do so much. Okay, now Ifan. Is that practice? He's stunned. Beautiful. Okay, so let's just shoot him twice. And again. Wow, we almost have him there. Well, where we are is safe, so I don't have to teleport anymore. Haste yourself. Please don't get practice. Okay, so you're some kind of fire guy. Yes, practice is dead. Woohoo! Achievement unlocked. The Abysmal Sea. No say is dead. But I think, yeah, I think we're done. Wow. Okay, so But hang on, it's staying there still in the fight. So that can't be good. Let's resurrect you. And put you... Disappear. Maybe you'll be able to see the red prince in there. I think she's going to use Sealing Coil on herself. So, is it who's left to be killed? Just this white mage, is it? Yeah, I think it's just the white mage that we have to kill. Okay. So Sabine is going to put you there. Actually, could put you around there. And then she's going to use... She's going to see if she can see the red prince. Oh, she's not. Well, if she could see the red prince, she probably can't now. Then she's going to... Armor Frost. You? A little bit. Okay. And then just need first aid. Okay. You go stand there. Okay, where'd she go? Oh, she went after him. Okay. Where is she now? Oh, she's still here? Yep. Okay, still.
My time, it seems,
There we go.
is done. I never possessed such mastery of source. I can only hope your choice is wise and true, Godwoken. I have made mistakes, but wisdom and truth, these are still values I believe in, and always did.
Good. Good, but I don't think you were the one to lead the people with all the bullshit you were pulling, so you caused all this shit and you shouldn't benefit from it, so I'm kind of glad you're gone. Or you're
Dallas groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
Yes, it
We
does. Isn't that
stand
great?
once more on the cusp of divinity, but this cup, so long thirsted for, I willfully let it pass from me. All my life
Good.
has been a lead-up to this, to be the King of Kings, God of Gods.
You would not have been a good god of gods.
I will not say it
You
was
know
in
that yourself.
vain, but I will say it was vanity. If I were to
Certainly
chance
was.
upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it, cast my glance to the horizon, and think of worthier things.
It's nice to know that he's changed. Not completely, but he's changed.
I'd
a bit.
think of Sadher, my great love.
Ah, that's nice. Hello, there. Still a bit of a dick, but not
I'd
so much
think of
as
my
at the
children.
start.
Their joyous dance through fiery skies.
Ah, see, becoming a
And
father.
of course,
changes
I'd think of you. Of the adventures we had. Of our unlikely, yet heartfelt friendship.
Yeah, it was a decent friendship because basically we had a party of dicks, and they all got on well
Yes,
together. Which
I'd
was great.
sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait for you to ascend the throne.
It's been an hour traveling with you. It certainly has. Really enjoyed the
I
Red
know.
Princess character. And there you go.
A
There's
mischievous
Vice and the
smile.
dick.
But I do have to add, likewise.
Yes?
So here we are.
Oh, thanks.
The end of it all.
It certainly is,
Ifan
yes.
reaches out to hold your hand.
Well, if Anne was our love interest, so we
Nobody
won't,
I'd rather see
we
this
won't
whole
decline.
thing through with. I trust you.
Thanks, Ifan.
I trust your judgment.
I
Ifan
trust you
smiles
too.
and kisses you on the cheek.
Well then, let's do this. Together.
Ifan
Yes,
keeps your
let's.
hand held tight in his own as you stride, one damned intimidating pair, to what awaits.
This is it. I can hardly believe it.
Well, don't let your crazy demon that you still got inside you but suppressed come out right
She
now. 'cause
casts
you
her
couldn't have
gaze
it.
around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do. Chief,
Good.
you need to ascend.
Yes.
There's no one
Thank
I would
you.
trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do what needs to be done, what ought to be done. And I know
Cheers, Lucy.
you'll do it with style.
I'll do my best not to fail
Hell,
you.
I could have told you that. You'll do great. By me and by my whole realm. I don't doubt that for a second. Now go on.
Cheers.
Shoo. You've got business to attend to.
Thanks, Lucy. She's probably out of the whole party, she's my favourite.
You think back on your journey here, on all you have seen, on how the Magisters hunted sorcerers who committed horrible crimes, and purged sorcerers who only tried to heal the sick. You think of how the Eternals unleashed void-woken horror on the world in an effort to reclaim it. You look at the source around you. You know that within your reach is divinity. You think
Great.
of what you could do
Let's get
with
it.
such power. Seeing the vast quantity of source in front of you, you think you should be able to handle a couple of void-woken. You think of your personal problems.
No, let's
It's
put the
time to
personal
make a
stuff aside.
choice. A choice that decides the fate of Rivellon and of you. Where do you stand?
Yep. Let's do it. Let's take the
After
power of
all that you
divinity.
have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aeteran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate and the future of the world. What shall you do with divinity?
Oh, this is tough. We could get rid of Source, but then would the Void Welcome come? And then we'd all be like screwed. We could just become divine and be like, yay, look, we're the best. But I think we've been going towards something where everybody is equal. We don't want people to be placing themselves above others anymore. So we're going to give Source back to all the people, release divinity into the world. Then when everyone is divine, no one is divine. Here we go, end credits, ahoy.
And so it ended.
It's
A
weird,
tale
like,
that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. When the dust settled, no new divine had risen. Instead, all source was released into the world for all the people and every creature to share. Everyone was now a sorcerer. And united, the peoples of Rivellon pushed back the God King into the very depths of the void. This ushered in a new golden age of peace and prosperity. But alas, it was not to last. With many greedy for wealth, power and position, the struggle soon began anew. Source, the very language of creation, was used in violence once more. The never-ending contest for power continued. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the Godwoken failed to seal the veil. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine, in service of the King, until the day I am freed, the day the God King returns.
Don't need any God King returning, thank you. Wait, so what's going on here? I thought the game was over. Is that just the end of the chapter? I guess so. Wow. There's more to come. I'm excited. Because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to miss the game.
Sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here, she looks almost angelic.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but why state the obvious? Get an eyeful. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time. I've a lot of planning to do, now that there's not to be a new divinity.
She drums her fingers testily on her crossed arms.
All that work, all that effort, tossed into the gutter like a malformed child.
The world is better off without an almighty tyrant.
Let's see how you feel when you realize the true implication of a world filled with sorcerers.
Well, it's going to be fun at least.
Never mind. I'll find another way. I always do.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Sacrificed much. And I'd have given even more to see you fulfill your destiny.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the right destiny.
I guess this will have to do. Take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh,
where are you going to go? What are your plans?
Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we've earned it. Perhaps our paths will cross again. Perhaps not.
Perhaps.
Until we
might see you in the next game. Okay, so that's Melody. Who else do you have to?
Well, look what the cat dragged in. A Godwoken. But what good is it to be Godwoken when Source is now a free-for-all, and there is no divinity to be had?
It feels good not to be Godwoken.
Don't fool yourself.
Free.
In the absence of a master will rise. King, God, there is still power to be had.
That's true. If you make everyone equal, someone wants to be more equal pretty soon. So that's why things like, things like communism never work, because someone has to be in charge.
As long as there is power, there is conflict. Source for all, it is but the dream of an idiot who will soon wake to find his wrists in shackles.
Are you calling us an idiot? Probably are, but still.
In that sense, I suppose I should look upon it all as an opportunity. People crave authority. They'll beg for a sorcerer king like me.
Well, don't become Brachus Rex. Sorcerer King. So you mean to become Red Rex, is that it?
Please,
a second Brachus.
I'm not a dilettante.
He sighs.
Good.
which seems to ease his surly countenance.
But come. We've travelled too long by one another's side to end with an argument.
But why are we arguing? Because we had this discussion before, and we all agreed on what we were
We'll
going
not
to do.
part on bad terms, will we?
Good.
Home.
Where are you heading?
After all, I've dragons to raise. I need to teach them to be good boys and girls before they set the entire world on fire. There may be an accident or two along the way. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. I do so long to see my palace again. The Forbidden City. The sense of spices and incense. The sound of sitars in far-off rooms. To sit all day in perfumed shade and watch the white of the marble change with the journey of the sun. But above all, I long to be with Sadher. Long to finally have the time to love.
Nice. I'm glad you're getting a happy ending. Well, I wish you the brightest
before you
futures.
go, remember how when we first met, I took you by the jaw to inspect your teeth?
Yes, I remember all too well.
Not something one forgets in a hurry. Now, if you'll recall, you cut short my little questionnaire, leaving me quite in the dark as to your cooking skills, fashion sense, and regard for personal hygiene. I can only assume you lack in all three departments.
Wait, we've been together for how long? And you don't know whether I can cook or not? Well, probably because we didn't do any cooking at all in the whole
Still,
thing.
I'm nothing if not a tolerant man who believes in individual growth. I'm sure the journey taught you much. As such, I'd like to offer you what was denied to you before. The opportunity to become my slave.
Do you want to be thrown overboard?
What say you?
What the hell's wrong with you? Sorry, not happy.
Where are you going? Really?
Away from you,
It's the lack
obviously.
of manners that I find so unforgivably disgraceful.
Okay, he's back to being a dick again. That's reassuring. Right, let's continue on and talk to some more people. The spirit of Beast.
Beast's
Let's
spirit
go talk to
barely
you.
responds to
See
you.
you say.
He only sings while brushing his ghostly beard.
He says
Yeah, well, he's
he
a
likes
dick,
it
so.
thick and long and combs it out all dilly-eye-day. He says he likes it big and strong and combs it out all dilly-eye-day. He twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blokes. He say he'll touch it all day long and combs it out all dilly-eye-day.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's talk to Tarquin next.
Source of all, eh? Bold move, I'll grant you that. I didn't think anyone considered the little people anymore.
So what do you think of the new world that you helped usher into
I don't
existence?
know yet. Perhaps peace will reign and all will be equal. Or perhaps you've bestowed great power on undeserving children and turned them loose on each other. Time will tell.
Very possible.
I'm sure. That is
So
the
what are you gonna do
question,
now?
isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me, have you ever heard of Gustafsson? No, of course you
I
wouldn't.
have not.
It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world. Beings that feed on minds.
Oh, so you're gonna create the disaster from the
I
third game.
intend to
Thanks,
seek them
Tarquin.
out. This Gustafsson seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, why settle for being the greatest mind in just one world, and there's another for the taking?
I think they're probably gonna think the same thing and come through the portal this way. Well, that is Tarquin, though. Now, Let's talk to Lucy.
Hey there, Chief. So, a world full of sorcerers. What do you make of it?
Yes. Well, it ought to be an even
I
playing
suppose
field.
that's a death sentence for Fort Joy. What a terrible shame. Though I guess it wasn't all bad.
Terrible.
I met you after all. And look at everything we've done. Get loot, play loot.
What are you going to do now?
Get loot, get glad. So, Chief, I guess this is it,
Nice.
right?
I guess so, but you know, I'm never going to forget you.
You say that now.
Not ever.
But who knows what adventures and redheads life will throw at you. Whatever it is, you'll ace it.
As she turns from you,
Cheers.
the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
See you around, Lucy. Still my favourite. Okay, next we have... the kid.
I feel weird,
Anne.
like I've got ants crawling in my belly. There is a matter
Yeah,
I
that's
must
'cause you're a
attend to,
sorcerer.
however. My payment for all the stuff I've done for you. That'll be...
He taps his fingers and mouths silently while he counts, until he arrives at an acceptable figure.
1,300,000 dozen and 50 teen gold pieces. Now pay up. Oh yeah?
I got a
What's
better
that?
idea. You're a true warrior, and I
Han
need a
ponders your
bodyguard.
suggestion for all of a second.
You got it. Everybody better watch out. Han'll get you if you come too close. But you better believe the bill for that will be a doozy.
And sure it will. Cheers, Han. Okay, so who's next? Ifan. Ifan, old buddy, old pal. Wait, where are we
Ifan
going?
beams at you, his blood-streaked face more jubilant
What
than
the
you've
hell?
ever seen it. He reaches out and pulls you into a bear hug, clapping you on the back.
How did you manage to bear hug us from down
We
there?
did it.
Jesus. We did, but I'm still more impressed by your bear hug.
The odds were
Bear
against
hug.
us. Hell, the gods were against us. And still we did it.
We
Ifan
did
grasps
indeed.
your face in his hands and kisses you exuberantly. Sauce crackles between you and in the air all around you. The world has changed.
Now
It
we'll see
certainly
something.
has.
We'll see what happens when everyone can harness their own divinity. Me either.
I can't wait to see that.
I knew it. From the first time I met you, I knew you were special. And this proves it. With a world
I
full
hope
of
so.
sorcerers, we should be able to make short work of the Voidwoken.
We should, but then they're going to turn on each other, unfortunately. I'm more than ready for a peaceful world, but
Ifan
not gonna
nods,
last
but
long.
his mind is elsewhere already. He looks different somehow. A vestige of command has returned to this ex-soldier.
oh, you're thinking
We'll
about
need
being the boss
supplies.
as well, eh?
Source-forged steel, war owls, a central command from which to run sorties. What do you think? Is Arx the right location?
Seeing the
That's a
look on
bit
your face, he
damaged.
laughs and shakes his head.
Old habits die hard. But I'm willing to bet
True.
these Voidwoken will die harder.
With that, Ifan embraces you fiercely. As your source mingles together, you feel the memories of your night together caressing your body. The world can wait just a little longer.
Yes. Okay, now. Let's have a chat with
I suppose
the
it's
Spirit
time
of
for me to
Fame.
explore a new form of eternity.
Yeah, Dick.
I am here to serve, Mistress, in this realm and any other, for as long as I must.
I got to see all the trouble behind
I
us
cannot
rather than
say
in
whether
front
the
of us.
future brings peace or pain, but I am bidden to serve you, as promised once and promised eternal. And so, as always, I am at the ready.
You
It's
look
time
out
to
to the
part.
endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different.
I'd say I'm loving the sea down there. It looks so cool. But as well, like, it's strange to say, like, after nearly 140 episodes of this game, but the end really stuck up on me. I wasn't expecting to get the arcs, and then once we left there, we're actually in the end of the game. I thought we were going to see more of the world, but it's been so much fun playing this game, and I really am going to miss it.
And with a
But let's
start,
continue on.
you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins.
Here we go. End.
The world was at peace, at least for now. With its significance as the seat of divinity diminished, Arx fell into decline, and within 7 generations had emptied.
Wow.
Few were as prepared for the new world as the lizardkin of the ancient empire. With power spread equally throughout the world, the advantage lay with those who knew how to steal it, and at this the lizards excelled. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom prospered, until 2 years later a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork. With their power returned, the elves reclaimed their lands from the Death Fog and began to rebuild. Soon they would split as 2 factions sought power, one to bring back the trees, the other to bring back the Scions. A dwarven joke did the rounds. It ends with the punchline, "So Lucian dropped the Death Fog on them again." Only Sabine could bring the elves together once more. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more.
Oh.
The island of Fort Joy, the old redoute of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort.
Nice. Well done.
Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport. Lohar the dwarf became mayor. His time in office was cut short by an unfortunate wound that spontaneously appeared on his neck. After a long and harrowing journey, Lovric the Waiter arrived in Sicil, where he opened a tavern. The meaty stew became famed almost as much for its food as it was for its greasy, abusive owner.
Gonna have to get you.
The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Millennia later, adventurers would come in search of the legendary divine city of Arx and the crypt of the great Lucian. None would pass the path of blood. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again.
Until the next game.
With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. With more undead than ever before, she founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering them shelter from hatred and fear. As the forests grew anew and the elves were equals at last, Sahala shared elven knowledge of the source with the world. But some elves disagreed and plotted against her. The mother would have to choose sides. Chief amongst her opponents was Tova, Sahala's own mother.
Oh.
With a small band of elves, Ifan Ben Mezd replanted the lost elven forests. After the first fresh shoots broke the earth, he disappeared and was never seen again. Some say Afrit, his soul wolf, walks the forests still. The Red Prince came home a hero. With Sada, he had more dragons. Soon, Prince became Emperor, one who would not use his dragons for conquest. His realm knew peace, and the world did not burn.
Fair play to
Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You returned to the world a sorcerer among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
Oh, there we go. Game done. Amazing. Easily one of the best RPGs I've played in a long, long time. Harks back to kind of the golden era, really, of RPGs. But with, did it in a modern way. Because I played like, what's it called? I played like a few different older RPGs, some on the channel, some not. And the things that I really, problems I had with the older RPGs was that the battle systems were not very good. And like, especially in Planescape, if anybody saw that, like having the real-time battles turned on as default was very annoying. Turn-based was okay, but still, it still didn't feel satisfying. But these battles felt satisfying, but there still were problems. Like things like clicks not registering properly for abilities that you wanted to use was really, really annoying. And then also when I loaded up the game, kind of half of the time I'd get a black screen which would freeze my computer, And I looked online for all different types of fixes for it, and none of them fixed it. You know, there was fixes about make sure that your drivers are up to date, make sure that you ran in a certain compatibility mode, make sure you disable certain aspects in the game, make sure you, what else has it been? There were ones where there were all different types of things anyway, and none of them worked for me. Maybe they worked for other people, but not for me. But you know, this basically is the end of the game here. I will let I'll let this run on for a little bit. I don't know whether I'll record the whole thing, but you know, had a lot of fun with the game, as I said. At the moment, you know, I'm not sure whether I will. You know, at the start, I wanted to do some co-op. I did a small bit of co-op with game night, which I really enjoyed. But at the moment now, I feel like I've done enough of the game now that I don't want to do another run. So I'm just gonna kind of look forward to the next one, I think, and then maybe do a co-op then, you know, with someone. Don't know who it'll be, but maybe I can find something to that. But now this slot is open, so I'm gonna have to think about a new game to put in here, and I haven't really thought about that because I've been on holidays and I'm just back. And as I said, even though the game was pointing towards it was going to be the end soon, it honestly didn't realize that it was so close. But I had a fantastic time, and I think I'm going to cut the video here. So as always, if you have enjoyed, please hit that like button, share with a friend or two, or on your favorite social media, and I really do hope to see all of you next time. Goodbye. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.